The world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. In the beginning, a lit mansion is seen beside the sea on a full moon night. The next scene shows a girl in the dressing room being dressed and putting on makeup. The maid who was dressing her told her that she couldn't make her makeup look nice if she was crying. But the girl told her that doesn't make her look pretty, and began to cry more. At that time, another girl was leaving the room. There were 2 security guards guarding the room door. On the other hand, many people were eating steak and wine sitting in the auditorium. Then the curtain of the stage was removed and it was announced that item number 6, 13 years old, is 155 centimeters tall and weighs 41 kilos, who has blonde hair, grey eyes and is in excellent health with no external injuries. Then the bidding began at 3 million in the presence of masked rich elderly people, and tears kept falling from the girl's eyes, and the bidding ends at 7.5 million. What a bunch of cheapskates, says Marquez Khalid. Basically, a human auction happens where young girls are sold off to wealthy old men under the watchful eye of Marquez Khalid. Her servants said that they already exceeded the cost of acquiring them, and Lady Khalid made quite a profit. In reply, she said that the girl was beautiful. She would have kept her if she could. She'd better not be auctioned off for cheap. Meanwhile, the girl in the dressing room continues to cry. She wants to go to her mother and to see her and tell them to let her go. Then another girl is next to her and says she should try to look more pretty. After hearing this, she stopped crying and looked at the girl. That girl says that she is a girl after all. Then that girl's number comes and she leaves the room. Then it was announced on the mic that now for today's featured product, and the curtain moves for item number 7, who is from Alvan, 14 years old and is 145 centimeters tall and weighs 38 kilos. She has silver hair and blue eyes. She is in excellent health. She has no external injuries or dental cavities, which makes the old men in masks lustfully happy. After that, the bidding began at 10 million. She says that, are these men the target of this job? They're obviously evil-looking men. How many girls have they brought to tears until now? And loudly speaks, and there was a flash of light, and by magic a key came into the girl's hand, and she opened her handcuffs, and says that she shows no mercy, and asks them to prepare themselves. And as she says, a magic gun came into her hands, and she started shooting people there, saying, A security guard in front of the dressing room said, "What the hell is going on?" And when he pushed the curtain and looked out, the maid inside attacked him with a broken bottle and killed him, and said to the rest of the guards, "Are there anyone among you who reluctantly followed Marquez Khalid's orders because she had no other choice?" Saying this, the rest of the guards took out their weapons for the fight. Seeing this, the maiden-like girl says that, good, then she can kill them without reservations, and started the fight by taking out the secret weapon with her. In the middle of the fight, she took the key from the guard and asked the crying girl to take the key and run away with others. Dia Vicorn is the girl who was a featured product and was also undercovered. She started beating and shooting everyone who came to bid one by one. Seeing this from the top floor, Marquez Khalid asked her assistant, "Where are the guards?" The assistant replied that they were coming on the way. Dia sees Marquez Khalid and goes to shoot. Then a guard attacked her and she missed her target. Dia asks her assistant Tard to buy her some time so she can read the chant. Tard pulls out a gun and continues the fight while Dia begins to recite chants, because of which one side of the mansion catches fire. Seeing that one side of the mansion is on fire, Maha tells the legendary assassin, who is outside of the mansion, says that this is the signal from Dia and Tard, and says that the legendary assassin, Marquez Khalid, was guilty after all. In reply, the legendary assassin said to Maha that her information was correct and thanked her as well. Maha also says that when she followed the money, she discovered huge profits of unknown origin. They attacked villagers while disguised as bandits and kidnapped young girls to sell them off to other nobles. That is unforgivable. The legendary assassin says that sending Dia and Tard undercover was the right choice. It takes time to get evidence on a members-only auction. They wouldn't want the number of victims to rise in the meanwhile. They went too far when they attacked a village in a neighboring country. Banditry and human trafficking are serious offenses. They have endangered international affairs by committing such crimes across national borders. The legendary assassin also says that in accordance with royal orders and the principles of the House of Tuatha Dé, Marquess Khalid and those who participated in the sales shall be eliminated. Then the legendary assassin asks Maha, who are they eliminating next? Maha replied, hit McDonnell. He's 20 feet to the left in front of the sedan. Next is Tommy and Jeffrey, 30 feet to the left. Then Yu Chen, 70 feet to the right. Crap, hides behind the van. The legendary assassin then says, come on, mission complete. Then Maha says that there are still more mafia members. They could wipe them out now. In response, the legendary assassin said that the organization ordered them to assassinate 6 men. He can't kill anyone else. Maha Rage says that there are still key people down there. If they let them live, the mafia will resume activity and... In response, the legendary assassin says, don't get the wrong idea. They are not heroes of justice. They are the tools of the organization. They do not do anything they are not ordered to. If the organization wanted to wipe out the mafia, they would have ordered them to do so, and their goal is probably to leave the mafia's structure in place and replace its leaders. It's possible that the members of the organization are undercover among them, but they cannot kill them without authorization. So the mission went as planned, and they are leaving. The legendary assassin was packing and loading his things into the car. He then sees a drone in the sky, speeds off their car and tells Maha that they are running away, and told her to get her weapons ready and do as he said, because the border guard is behind them. Then, according to their plan, the car is blasted and they escape. As the day ended, the legendary assassin contacted the organization, where he announced his intent to retire and become a mentor to future assassins in Japan. After that, using fake passports, the legendary assassin and Maha reached a nearby airport and took a flight to Japan. Unfortunately, the organization plants a mine in the cockpit, killing the pilots and leading to the assumption that the flight was hijacked, resulting in the legendary assassin realizing that he had been set up. The legendary assassin initially tried to save himself, but the flight was shot down by a military fighter jet under the assumption that terrorists still occupied the plane. Once the assassin died, he encountered a goddess. The goddess gave him 2 options. First, to be reborn as a completely different person, and second, to accept her request and be reborn with his memories intact to murder a hero. The goddess wanted the assassin to make the second choice because she needed him to kill another world's hero. In the beginning, the legendary assassin listens to the goddess and says, "Reincarnation, that's hard to believe," can be seen saying. In reply, the goddess said that normally the souls of the dead are cleansed of any stains and recycled. The life Tara had built up until then is wiped away. The goddess then arranged a tea table set by magic, and the legendary assassin was cordially invited. The legendary assassin says that that's how he believed death worked. Even if they're reborn, a person's personality is reduced to nothing if their memories are erased. In response, the goddess said that then being reborn in another world with the memories and personality from their previous life makes him incredibly lucky. It's like starting a new RPG with all the experience points from the game he just beat. It would be a waste to refuse such an offer, and pass the cup of tea towards the legendary assassin. While drinking tea, the legendary assassin asks the goddess that in that case, tell him who the target is. Goddess's counter question is, does that mean he'll accept the job? The legendary assassin reported that he is dead now, there's no risk for him anymore, and besides, he remembered how to feel emotions. After that, the legendary assassin also said that since he was born, he lived as a tool for killing people. He suppressed his emotions and took pride in living as the perfect tool, but at the very end of his life, he had regrets and experienced frustrations. Now he recalled the emotions that he'd forgotten for so long. If he has another chance at life, instead of living as a tool for others, he wants to live his own life. After hearing this, the goddess said that it was okay. She doesn't care what else he does as long as he fulfills her request. After that, the goddess pointed her fingers to his forehead and said, allow her to explain the job, and said that he would be reborn in a fantasy world of swords and sorcery and kill the hero. He has until 18 years after he's born. This is how the world works. This is how magic is defined. Here is the knowledge of the culture and technology of the era, as well as the hero. The legendary assassin felt this and said that it was different from the world he lived in. Civilization is somewhere between the Middle Ages and the modern era. The greatest difference is the existence of magic, and some people possess physical abilities far greater than those. The legendary assassin said that he had understood the new world, and says that the hero seems to be a valorous man. Why did he need to be killed? The goddess replied that 16 years after his birth, the hero would defeat the demon lord and save the world, but after that the hero will use his power to plunge the world into chaos. After 18 years, the world will be destroyed, so she'd like him to kill the hero right quick. The legendary assassin said, according to the knowledge he just received, there are limits to human abilities, but the hero alone is an exception. He possesses abilities far greater than other humans. In other words, he must kill a non-standard monster using his own abilities. The goddess replied that she chose an assassin because among humans, the hero can be killed not by warriors, knights or mages, but only by an assassin. The legendary assassin said, very well, if she wants him dead, he can do that. The goddess says that she wouldn't expect less from the world's finest assassin, and he is very confident. The legendary assassin said that, but gave him the best possible abilities within standard limits. The goddess says that sure, she will grant him the highest stats that a human can theoretically have. These are the skills humans living in the other world possess. They are granted at most 5 skills at random when they are born. She'll grant him all 5 and the opportunity to choose themselves. Moreover, he may choose his magic attributes as well. The legendary assassin says that he has some questions. The first question is reincarnating him from another world not overstepping her bounds? The goddess replied, that's allowed, and said she just so happened to bring in a soul from another world because she was short, just so happened to do a sloppy job cleansing his soul, leaving his memories and knowledge intact, just so happened to grant him a highly effective body, and just so happened to select strong skills randomly. The legendary assassin asks that can he kill him as soon as he's ready? The goddess replied no, he cannot do that, and asked to wait until after the hero killed the demon lord. The hero can only kill the demon lord. If he kills him first, the world will be destroyed. Then the last question of the legendary assassin is, does she want him to save the world, or does she want him to kill the hero? The goddess replied that she wanted to save the world, of course. The goddess allowed him to choose special powers and abilities. He chooses 5 skills, 1 from each rank, so he possesses all the 5 basic ranks for skills, S, A, B, C, and D. From S rank, Rapid Recover, which increases the recovery rate of the user's stamina, mana, healing, etc. A rank, Spellweaver, described as the ability to invent new spells, granting limitless possibilities. B rank, Limitless Growth, which allows the user to break through their natural limitations. Paired with Rapid Recovery, this allows him to exceed and surpass normal human limitations with his continued training. C rank, Martial Arts, which grants excellent hand-to-hand combat capability and enhanced reflexes, with the mysterious D-ranked ability. When given the choice of picking his elemental affinity, Lugh chose Total Affinity. This allowed him to use the 4 basic elemental affinities: fire, water, earth, and air. The only drawback was that their growth rate would be halved. The goddess says that he seems to have found a satisfactory combination. The legendary assassin says that he has come up with a plan. The goddess really said, but he chooses the plain Rapid Recovery for his S-rank skill, and his A-rank skill is Spellweaver. The rest are not very exciting either. People are really interesting. The legendary assassin says that it was sarcasm. The goddess says that's a compliment, then says that now is the time for his rebirth, and asks if that is he ready? The legendary assassin says that without a doubt, he is reincarnated as Lugh Tuatha Dé, heir to a clan of assassins. Next comes the scene of the delivery of Esri Tuatha Dé, and Sion Tuatha Dé becomes the father of a son. The second child and son of Sion and Esri, the name Lugh Tuatha Dé, heir of the house of Tuatha Dé. Later, Esri asks Sion if he is going to raise this boy as a Tuatha Dé. Sion states this kingdom needs the Tuatha Dé. Some infections can only be rooted out by assassination. Esri says that she will not like it. She does not want to lose this child like her previous child. Sion said that he would not make the same mistake again and again. Either he also doesn't want to lose their second child, and he promises that he will not let Lugh die. He will raise him much stronger. In the next scene, Lugh is seen hunting a rabbit, and he prepares to cook it, and he thinks to himself that he needs to grow strong so that he can fight with the hero. Like an athlete, he needs to consume meals based on nutritional science. By regularly cooking food for himself, he can acquire any nutrients that he lacks, like protein and calcium for building strong muscles and bones, and vitamins and minerals stimulate the growth of tissue. Wild rabbit meat is ideal because it's low in fat and high in protein, but it's gamey. Add pot herbs, homemade dried mushrooms, and root vegetables and stew it in a pressure cooker with herbs. Add a bechamel sauce made of goat's milk and goat butter puree mani to the rabbit and vegetables stewed in the pressure cooker, and the cream stew is done. And think, it's a complete meal that allows him to consume all the nutrients he needs to grow at once. After lunch, his father examines his physical growth and concludes that Lugh is ready for particular surgery to allow him to perceive magic in a person or an environment. Lugh's father taught him medical and assassination techniques so that he could be the heir to this family of assassins. He can use them to train himself for the hero's assassination. Sion then says that he is giving Lugh the mystic eyes of the Tuatha Dé. After that, he underwent surgery, and that surgery was successful. And Lugh's father tells him that he has good news, which was his teacher was found to teach him magic. Lugh successfully obtains the mystical eyes passed down to the Tuatha Dé, and his father promises to teach Lugh how to perform the surgery when the time comes. Lugh's mother dressed him up in girl's clothes. Next comes Lugh's master of magic. Lugh is surprised to see her because she is a baby girl. His teacher in the ability to use magic is one of the most powerful mages in Alvan Kingdom, and becomes even more powerful with the help of Lugh and his all-round knowledge of the modern world's Dia Vicone. It can be seen at the beginning that Lugh says allow him to introduce himself formally. He is Lugh Tuatha Dé, 7 years old. He looks forward to receiving Miss Dia's guidance and support. Dia says that she's only 3 years older than him, and added that beginning tomorrow this genius mage will spend 2 weeks teaching him everything there is to know about magic. After that, Dia gives Lugh the Far Stone. It can be used for storing mana. First we need to determine your magical capacity, and says that try pouring in all your mana into the Far Stone. Amazed, Dia said that not many people could produce that much mana, even amongst adults. Dia was shocked by Lugh's ability. In an attempt to measure Lugh's magical potential, Dia gives him a Far Stone, a unique gemstone that can measure a person's magic capacity. However, Lugh's power is so vast that the Far Stone explodes. This gives Lugh the idea of using Far Stones as makeshift grenades. Sion says that Miss Dia, could you please teach him spells suitable for assassination next? Dia said yes, and asks Lugh that are his parents mad? Lugh explains that his parents are like that. When Lugh asked for more Far Stones, Dia informed him that Far Stones were the treasured objects of her home region of Vicone. They cannot give them to people from other regions. After that, their daily practice continued. Over the following weeks, Dia and Lugh become emotionally attached to each other. Lugh proves to be an exceptionally fast learner, learning to synthesize metals and create weapons. He and Dia even learn how to create new spells together. And on their last night together, he gives her a titanium knife as thanks for being his teacher, while she gives him her personal Far Stone. As Dia departs, Lugh's father decides it is time for Lugh to assassinate someone for the first time, while explaining the methods of the House of Tuatha Dé. His victim is a woman guilty of multiple crimes who tries to plead innocence, but Lugh kills her painlessly, knowing that the woman is lying. A girl can be seen at the beginning of it. She was kicked out. They've been poor for a long time and have little rice. They can't eat. There is not enough rice, so the only option is to decrease the number of people who eat it. They did not have it, so she was thrown out. She is an unwanted child. She's cold and hungry, and she wants to go home. But even if she went back, she would be thrown away again. Then she would be hunted by the wild animals, seeing that she thought everyone was hungry like her, and she faints. In the next scene, Sion is seen saying that the Tuatha Dé had a good harvest again that year. After hearing that, Ezri said, yes, thanks to everyone's efforts. Then Ezri sees cookies in a stall and says that the cookies look delicious, and told Lugh that she bet he'd like some of these, and she'll buy some of them. They can eat them together. Lugh says to his mother that she is the one who wants to eat them, and also said to his mother that he is already 10 years old, so stop treating him like a child. His mother said that he is her child, so it is natural that he should be treated like a child. She also said that she would treat him like a child even if he grew old and his hair turned white. Finally, Lugh obliges and says, well, they will eat together. Then Sion told Lugh that his cream stew seemed to be popular. Everyone loved his idea. After some time, Sion said again that the town was full of life as well. He looks forward to the harvest festival. With this turnout, Lugh might be able to find someone, and he finds one but loses it in the crowd. Then his mother came and said that the people running the shop said she could have this for free. Lugh says that she shouldn't burden the people like that. Lugh's mother told him that they were fans of him, and added that Lugh is the little lady killer. In the next scene, Lugh is seen saying that he can't find anyone with mana. He is now 10 years old, and in 8 years he will kill the hero. To do that, he would like to acquire a skilled assistant with mana, but most people who have mana are nobles or belong to their branch families. They're hard to recruit. Ordinary people seldom possess mana. He'll have to be patient in his search. In the next scene, Lugh's mother asks him if he's going hunting on a day as cold as today. Lugh said that he has to hunt before it snows or they'll eat poorly over the winter. Lugh takes leave of his mother and comes into the forest, and he thinks that he needs to go see deer before the snow gets too deep. Lugh hears the sound of the wolves' walk. Lugh goes there and finds a girl surrounded by wolves. Lugh practices his magic abilities and gives instant death to the wolves, then asks the girl who she is. What is she doing in this deep forest? The girl says that she has not done anything wrong and please don't hurt her. Lugh says that he did not get the answer to his question and asks again, why is she here? The girl says that she belongs to a poor family. They had to reduce the number of mouths to feed. There's not much food in the winter, so before it arrives, a traveler told her the region of Tuatha Dé beyond the mountains is wealthy, so hearing this, Lugh cooks and says it's porridge. Does she want some? The girl says yes. Then Lugh says that it comes with a few conditions and says to eat as slowly as possible. If she does as he says, he'll give her another bowl. If she eats hurriedly, she won't receive another. After eating, the girl asks Lugh if she has finished eating a lot fast. Lugh states that no. Does she want another bowl? The girl says yes, and then asks slowly. Lugh says yes. If she eats quickly, her stomach will reject the food and make her throw up. Moreover, her body is cold. That's why he gave her easily digestible warm porridge. So eat slowly. Then Lugh says that the lord of the neighboring region is not only incompetent but greedy as well. He heard his people were suffering under his exorbitant taxes, but he had no idea it was this bad. Then Lugh also said that as she said she was heading to Tuatha Dé, he is the son of the lord of the Tuatha Dé. The girl says that, really? That's incredible, and says God is real after all. Lugh asks, huh? The girl says yes. God told her in a dream that said she had a fateful encounter. Lugh says he sees. Does she want to come with him? If she comes with him, she'll always have food to eat. She won't have to freeze anymore. Yes, he wanted her to come with him. He needed her. The girl was happy to hear that he needed her, because no one has ever told her that she was needed before. Lugh asks the girl if she thinks that he is a good person. The girl says that yes, he is a good person. Lugh asks if she can keep a secret. The girl says yes. Lugh informs her that he has killed people, and he's going to kill a lot of people. This is his mission, and this is his work. Lugh asks the girl again if she thinks that he is a good person. The girl again says that yes, he is a good person as far as she is concerned. Lugh says that's a nice answer, and said that, but if she's coming with him, there are some conditions. She must help with his work. If she can't, then the deal is off. In response, the girl says that she can do anything. And since he says he needs her, she will go with him. Then Lugh extends his hand and says that he is Lugh Tuatha Dé, and the girl says that she is Tard. Lugh welcomes Tard to the Tuatha Dé. Using his mana vision, Lugh attempts to find someone who can be both his personal servant and his assistant during assassinations. Sure enough, Lugh finds such a person in the form of Tard, a girl from a poor background who had made her way to the Tuatha Dé region in hopes of a better life. After rescuing her from a pack of wolves, Lugh brings Tard to his home and gets permission from his father to train her as an assassin. When he reaches the age of 12, Lugh finds that Tard has become skilled in spear fighting, but has trouble using smaller weapons like knives. To solve this problem, Lugh creates a special retractable spear that Tard can hide beneath her clothes. With a good weapon at her disposal, Lugh believes Tard has become a valuable asset in his mission to kill the hero. Lugh has produced a large collection of far stones thanks to the spells Dia taught him. Lugh and Tuatha Dé can be seen in the marketplace, where everyone thanked him for his help. After that, they were returning home in a horse carriage. Tard says that the day went very well. Lugh asked Tard if she wished she'd been born in Tuatha Dé instead. In response, Tard stated that no, if she had been, then she wouldn't have had the opportunity to become his personal servant. Lugh says that it is not true. He would have found her no matter where she was. After that, Tard tells Lugh that is he so kind to her in order to win her heart as well? Lugh says that after all, he needs her. Tard says that yes, she will serve him forever. Lugh has produced a large collection of far stones thanks to the spells Dia taught him. Tard tells Lugh that the master wants to meet him in the training room. When Lugh gets there, Sions first wants to know about Tard and report it to his father, revealing that he has been observing Tard all this time and can confidently say that she is not a spy from a rival region. Even so, he does admit it's a coincidence that Tard, a person with incredibly high magic potential, just so happens to wander into Tuatha Dé territory, and tells Lugh that he wants to take a special test of him. Sion says that he recognizes him as a full member of the family and let him handle jobs as an assassin. And said that, then fought with him. Whether he win or lose doesn't matter, show him what he's capable of. Then at night in the deep woods, Lugh and Cain fight between assassins, and Lugh goes on to win. Lugh's father says that he can't believe he lost to a 12-year-old. He considered himself one of the Tuatha Dé's finest assassins. Sion tells Lugh that there is nothing left to learn, but Lugh says he still has more to learn. In the end, Sion says that he must walk on his own 2 feet now, find out what he needs to become stronger. Until then, he'll assist me with his work. Despite Lugh's youth and experience from his past, Sion proves to be a formidable opponent, and Lugh only beats him by risking his own life. After that, Lugh joins Sion in carrying out assassinations, and Sion tells him that in order to facilitate his work, Lugh will have to assume a fake identity as a member of the Balor trading family. Sion holds a party to celebrate Lugh's ascension as heir to the house of the Tuatha Dé. Rona, a branch family member, disagrees with the decision and challenges Lugh to a duel, but he is easily defeated. Even so, Lugh gives him a special sword so that Rona can continue his training as a knight. The following morning, Lugh and Tard depart from the Tuatha Dé and begin their journey to Mildew. Lugh and Tard can be seen in the new look at the beginning. They are going to depart from the Tuatha Dé to Mildew. Lugh said that for the next 2 years he'd be Ilig Balor, a merchant of Mildew. In the next scene, merchant town Mildew is seen. Then it is seen that children from the slums run a small but successful business by guiding tourists in town, which is headed by an orphan girl named Maha. Maha's father was a successful merchant but was murdered by someone close to their family when she was very young. Unfortunately, they were captured by a group of bandits and taken to an orphanage. What will happen to them, that they wonder. They were made to do different things all day long and were beaten. One day a merchant arrives. He chooses one of them and goes with the money. People and cars come to pick up Aoife at night. Maha is said to prepare Aoife by washing her. Aoife was ready and she was taken in a car. And in the middle of the night Aoife returns. Maha kept waiting for her. She came back and started crying. It goes on like this every day. An orphanage that turned out to be a front for a prostitution ring. There, all the girls except Maha are forced into prostitution jobs under the heel of the local nobles, which deeply traumatizes them and even causes one of them, Noeen, to scar her own face with a sickle if it means not having to work as a prostitute. 2 years have passed. Then one day, Maha overhears the salesman discussing her. She is 12 years old, beautiful, and a virgin. She can be sold at a good price. After hearing this, Maha went to injure herself. Then there is the encounter with Lugh, and Lugh says that he does not like tears in her eyes. Rather, if she smiles, she will look cute. Maha is eventually found by Lugh under the alias of Ilig Balor, but before Lugh can purchase her, the director of the orphanage wants to spend the night with her. The orphanage was informed that Lugh was looking for help. Thinking back to that information, Maha withdrew herself back, as she did not want to take away the opportunity for other children to be saved before herself. Lugh saw her and walked over to her, smiling and asking if she could come with him. Despite trying to protest, the first words she said to him betrayed her as she happily accepted his request. She meets her Prince Charming. Luckily, Lugh saves Maha, and with Tard's help, he is able to expose the noble's crime and get him arrested. As the prostitution ring is shut down, Naween finds her scars have been removed, and Maha finds a new home with Lugh. Has Maha found her prince? What will Lugh do next with Maha? And don't forget to subscribe to my channel.